And we've come here today to bring a message to Mr. Trudeau. Mr. Trudeau, as you are busy pushing your agenda on Canadians, trying to force your way on everyone, whether it be through internet censorship, whether it be through removing reparative therapy choice, or whether it be through taking away the charitable status of good pro-life charities and crisis pregnancy centers. We're here to bring a message to you, Mr. Trudeau. No way our charities are going to stay. That's our message. No way our charities stay. Maybe I'll get you to join me with that one. No way our charities stay. All right, Mr. Trudeau, I would ask this question to you. Why do you want to rob hurting women of the support they seek? Diapers, formula, baby supplies, clothing, a shoulder to cry on, a loving heart to offer advice and prayer? Mr. Trudeau, for women feeling pressured to abort, why do you want to rob those women of the choice and the chance to keep their beautiful children, these gifts from God? Don't take away their choices. Don't take away their options. Don't take away their hope. Mr. Trudeau, no way our charities stay. Thanks to the agenda of Mr. Trudeau and his Liberal Party, this staunch pro-abortion death wish agenda, as I like to call it, every Canadian pro-life charity is under threat. And that includes, of course, the scores of crisis pregnancy centers and pro-life charities across this nation. But this threat could easily extend to thousands of churches, ministries, camps, shelters, faith-based schools, as well as other community groups. It has happened before, and it will happen again if it's not stopped. Do you remember the Canada Summer Jobs Grant fiasco back in 2018? Yeah. Right? Do you remember how if your church, your camp, your group was pro-life, then no funding for you, and well, this time it's going to be no charitable status for you. I think Mr. Trudeau wants to be the charity Nazi. You know, he wants to tell you who gets the status and who doesn't, and it's got to fit with his agenda and his thinking. Did you know that the Liberal Party has published a bold-faced lie? Now you might ask me, which lie is that? But I'm going to tell you this particular lie is a big one, because they have said in their page 4 of their policy statement, which they issued going into the last election, they printed it and they said on page 4 that pro-life groups and crisis pregnancy centers spread misinformation and put women's safety at risk. Now, because of this, they say they must be denied charitable status, which of course is going to be devastating for all those organizations. And this statement, this slander, was printed without any basis in fact, without any support, without any evidence whatsoever to show that this statement is true. In fact, recently, Chrystia Freeland's office again reiterated it and stated that, yes, this is a policy position of the Liberal government of Mr. Trudeau, that pro-life groups and crisis pregnancy centers spread misinformation and put women's safety at risk. Again, with no facts to back it up. In fact, the truth is, and I don't think Mr. Trudeau cares for the truth very much, the truth is that pro-life groups and crisis pregnancy centers, they help women. They help babies. And that help that they provide is welcomed, it is needed, it is wanted, it is appreciated. And that's why I want to announce today that Campaign Life Coalition is taking these words from Mr. Trudeau and the Liberal Party very seriously. When he puts these lies on paper, when he publishes falsehoods, we're not going to let him stand for that. So I want to announce today that Campaign Life Coalition is pursuing legal action against the Liberals for their baseless defamation of pro-life organizations. This defamation and slander, I believe, is designed to distort public opinion and to plant a bias in people's minds, and it represents a real danger to every Canadian charity holding to pro-life beliefs and values, no matter what that charity is. You know, it's interesting, the Trudeau Liberals are pleased as punch when pro-abortion, anti-life groups like Planned Parenthood Toronto receive over $3.4 million in government funding in 2020 alone. But they think a pro-life charity not getting a penny of funding must be punished. The Trudeau Liberals, they see nothing wrong when more than $1 billion as of 2019, $1 billion in taxpayer funds go to groups that promote abortion and abortion counseling across Canada. Yet groups that offer pro-life, life-affirming counseling that support women and babies, these groups should not even get a charitable tax benefit. It is outrageous, and it is a real shame on Mr. Trudeau. So I say shame on Mr. Trudeau. Shame on him. I mean, this promise from Mr. Trudeau, based on lies that he will revoke or take away charitable status from any pro-life charity, this promise is despicable. It is shameful. Now, we're normally disappointed when our politicians go back on their election promises, right? It happens all too often, and we're normally quite unhappy about that. But I'm going to tell you today, this is one time when we are urging our Liberal politicians to go back on an election promise. This is one time that we want to say to Mr. Trudeau, please don't follow through on this promise. We call on you today, Mr. Trudeau, to repent of your plan to punish pro-life charities and hurt the women and the babies and the family that these charities serve. This is one promise that Canada will be glad that you do not keep. And we say to Mr. Trudeau, no way our charities stay. No way our charities stay. Pope John Paul II has said, you are called to stand up for life, to respect and defend the mystery of life always and everywhere, including the lives of unborn babies, giving real help and encouragement to mothers in difficult situations. That is the very definition of charity. If pro-life charities are denied their charity status, then I would suggest that charity itself is dead in Canada. So I say to Mr. Trudeau, no way our charities stay. No way our charities stay. Now I see that we have another member of Parliament joining us here, Andrew Vierson. And so I want to welcome you, and we do have another copy to present to you of our petition, signed by up to 15,000 people. And if you'd like to say a few words, that'd be great.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm thankful for the weather you ordered, and the Lord's given it us today. Really appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to speak, and thank you for the gathering of petitions, and thank you for caring about this issue. Every day across Canada, on average, 300 babies die